Breaking news! Video games are a waste of time. Well, at least Joe Rogan thinks so. So there's a clip that's been circulating, and we assume everyone's seen it. Where basically Joe Rogan, it's sort of taken out of context. I got to give him a little bit of credit. It's taken a little bit out of context, where he's talking about video games being a waste of time and how you could use that time to like be doing other things. What was the example we were talking about? About like Jiu Jitsu?
Yeah, Jiu Jitsu. I think he equated it to some type of martial arts. I don't remember if it was Jiu Jitsu or whatever. He said, if you spend 3 years going hard at this martial arts, you'll like be able to open your own dojo and make something out of it. But if you spend 3 years playing video games, you're just wasting your time, and you don't get anything out of it.
So I just wanted to touch on the jiu-jitsu thing really fast, because rolling around on a mat, improving your skill in martial arts, does not give you a business degree. Does not, like, teach you, like, where and how to get money. Doesn't tell you how to, like, get clients. Doesn't actually, like, make you a good teacher. Just because you're good at fighting doesn't mean you're a good teacher. Like, there's just, like... No, dude, you're wrong. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that is a bad analogy.
Yeah, it was a weird... Like, I understand... I think I understand what he was trying to say, where, like, video games, are addictive, and you could, waste valuable time that you could be being productive. And
yeah, like, learning a skill, and since he's really into mixed martial arts, I was trying to think of, like, a really like polite way to phrase that. Since he's super into mixed martial arts, which is cool, like, I have family members that are really into mixed martial arts, and, like, they love it, and they're good at it, and they could definitely beat me up. Like, it's cool, but, where's I going with that?
You can't... Not everybody's going to be successful if you learn this hobby or learn this skill. Like, not everybody who does martial arts is going to be able to make a dojo. Just like not everybody that plays video games is going to be a famous streamer
like
or
PewDiePie or a ninja. Yeah, it's just like not gonna happen for you. Or like Mewtwo King or somebody who's just like really good. The question I think we have really good talking points for this. So why do you think there is a stigma around video games and not other hobbies like watching Netflix? There's a lot of things that you can sink your time in that people call time wasters, but like people don't really have like this negative connotation towards like binge watching a TV show. They're like, hey man, did you binge watch Stranger Things? You're like, yeah, it was awesome. And then they talk about it. It's like, oh, Game of Thrones. Like, oh, did you watch all Game of Thrones? Like, oh yeah, it was awesome. But it's like, hey man, did you beat all the Dark Souls games back to back? They're like, yeah, it was awesome. It's like, oh, like that's weird, man. Like that you did that.
You didn't leave your house. You didn't, and watch sports.
Yeah, but like you don't for Netflix and stuff. It's like, dude, like you could be watching and I am biased. This is me being biased. I think that like some reality shows are great, but like other reality shows, I think are really just mind-numbing garbage.
Oh yeah,
and I think that kind of stuff like sort of just can turn your brain into mush, and that's my bias. And I think the kind of games that intrigue me, for the most part, have really engrossing stories or really complex fighting systems or, like, really...
like puzzles and...
Yeah, like, really hard puzzles or just, like... They just engage my brain on a level that I don't get that anywhere else. And, like, I'm always thinking and, like, solving problems. And, like, I think that it's so... obnoxious for someone to be like, oh, it's a waste of time and like it doesn't do anything for you. It's like, do they actually give like they used to give like DSs with brain age to people to like make sure that they were like keeping like cognitively healthy. So I don't know. I could go on. You guys please speak. I could just rage about this. John, you first. Or Camilo, never mind.
Well, I thought Cam was going to say what he talked about off stream, which...
Okay. Well, I think the stigma comes from video games, like their target audience is primarily children. So it's seen as a children's activity. It's not seen as something adults should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
which is odd because now we all grew up on video games, right? And we're all adults now. Like the people that grew up on video games, like back in the late 80s, early 90s, we're in our 30s or in our late 20s, early 30s, and now like that was our hobby growing up, and that's what we spend our time doing now. So it's kind of odd.
Even Gen Xers, dude, because Gen Xers had Atari and ColecoVision. Like they like we were like the NES, SNES bunch, and Camilo more like N64. But like I'm just aging myself. But like that like even if you think about Gen X, like they still do it, and like I have cousins who are Gen X who grew up on ColecoVision and Atari, and they have Switches and they buy Paper Mario, and they buy games, and they're like it's their hobby. So it's like we like even like 70s kids, like they grew up on this stuff. Like it's just like just because little kids read books like with like Berenstain Bears, like you then grow up to read like very important nonfiction books, or like really dense like fantasy novels, or like anything that really tickles your fancy. Like if I'm reading, like I'm currently reading like this really dense fantasy series, no one's like turning their nose down at me, or whatever the expression is, like for reading like 1,000-page book. They're like, because I'm expanding my mind. But like if I enter a fantasy world with my hands instead of just my eyes, like then I'm like, it's an issue. I just don't understand that. I think people need to I think what just needs to happen is that the generation of human beings who didn't have, which is weird because I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan is a Gen Xer. Like he just didn't have an Atari when he was a kid.
I think he plays video games. Like I think he has spoken about playing video games before. And I think this is completely it came off wrong, but it doesn't change the fact that there is this stigma. Like it's not just him. It's not just you see it elsewhere. Like the whole violence.
Yeah,
in
that's
video
I was just
games
gonna say that's a whole other tangent. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, like violence in video games cause violence in real life, which has been proven to be incorrect.
Which was insane, dude, because those hyper-realistic violent games during the Civil War were insane. Do you remember that?
The hyper...
Just trying to make a joke about how, like, during the Revolution
and
the Civil War, there weren't video games and people were still shooting each other, so, like, can we all, like, just think about it for a second?
Yeah, war and violence has been around since the age of man, like, since we've started. Like,
since we picked up sticks and started stabbing each other.
Yeah. So there's always been the stigma, and I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I think any form of media has hyper violence. Like you watch any TV show, hyper violence. There's a lot of other questionable things in them, and
and that stuff is on network television during prime time.
Yeah.
Just FYI, that stuff's on prime time on the airwaves that people can get in their home for free. It's just, I don't know. The video game violence thing is, I feel like I could also go on a very large tangent.
Yeah, I love the memes with it because they're always so funny to me. Like I think you'd shared one and it said, video games cause violence, and then the picture is you petting the fox in Ghost of Tsushima.
Petting the fox in Ghost of Tsushima.
There's a whole account on Twitter that says, "Can you pet the dog in these video games?" Like, yeah. There's definitely problems with the hyperviolence, and I think we are desensitized to certain things.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% desensitized.
But, like, it doesn't... There's no linking factors that it causes violence in people, so...
But, yeah,
my, medical and professional opinion...
Yes, you're... Johniibo PhD in the house, guys.
I mean, I don't want to, like, jump on turtles, from playing Mario all the time.
Exactly. Just smashing mushrooms and jumping on turtles. Yeah, I've never once done that. I will say, though, as a kid, I asked my mom if I could try to eat, like, what are they called? Portobello. if I could have a portobello mushroom when she was like making dinner for us. And I was like, can I have that? And she was like, why do you want like a raw portobello mushroom? I was like, because of Mario. So, I mean, they definitely are, like, kids are impressionable. Yeah. Like, that's not
I remember, I was probably 14 or 15, and you can't buy mature games. Well, you can't buy mature games when you're that age.
Yeah.
So I needed
17, yeah.
Yeah, so I needed my parents to buy it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, as long as you know it's not real. I'm like, I know it's not real. It's freaking zombies. Like,
yeah, it's zombies. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom, for outing you if you're listening.
It's okay. I don't think she cares. Or at least last time I talked to her. She didn't care. Hey-o. Yeah, I don't know. What, any more comments about like the stigma thing before we move on? Like, you guys have any comments about just like the stigma of video games?
People just need to mind their own business.
Stay in your lane, right?
Yeah. You can't like just don't swing at stuff that you don't know anything about. That's I think I want to just say that. Like if you don't know what you're talking about, like just zip it, man. Or like go learn about it. If you're gonna start spitting nonsense, like go learn about it first.
They're probably the people that made Kissing Booth 2 #1 on Netflix.
Kissing Booth 2 is #1 on Netflix?
I think so, yeah.
Dude, there's some bad stuff in the top 10. But there's some all right. So I like that top 10. That's a good new feature. Anyways, we're not a Netflix podcast. Yeah. Okay, so speaking of video games being a waste of time. Ooh, I love this question.
Yeah, this is fun.
Because I made it up. Speaking of video games being a waste of time, what have you guys been wasting your time on recently? Camilo, you want to go first?
Okay, so I'm planning to do a super difficult run of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and I have been prepping my main save file because I'm going to do like a New Game Plus mode.
Okay. And
that's been taking up so much of my time because I'm trying to like collect all of like the Dream Eaters in that game. It's kind of like collecting Pokemon. Okay. So I've been doing that, and I wanted to hunt. I'm doing this off stream, and I actually got it today. But I got a shiny Dratini in the Gen 2 like original Silver game.
Nice. Oh wow!
Because I wanted to get a shiny hidden ability Dragonite for when the Crown Tundra comes out. Okay. So I decided to do that, and it was Dragon Week in Pokemon Go, so like it made me think of Dratini. So
nice.
The eggs.
Is that why Dratini's everywhere?
Yeah.
I'm like, why is there so many Dratinis? He was so rare, and now it's like I'm tripping over him.
Yeah.
Sweet. What are you playing, John?
So I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. I got back into that. It's been a lot of fun. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of the more fun like multiplayer games I played. I don't get angry at it, and just play a few matches and then sign off.
I love Rocket League. It's goofy. It's fun. The games are short. Like by the time you're mad that you lost, you're already in a new game and you can start over.
And I'm excited for when it goes free to play because I think more people will get into it and just have more people to play with.
I'm excited for it to go free to play because I still don't have it on Switch.
Yeah, so and I think there's going to be cross progression too. So
nice.
If you have a bunch of items on like
on my
PlayStation or PC,
you
should be able to merge them to the other platforms, kind of like Fortnite did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I've been playing that a lot, and I've also been playing Fall Guy. I played the Fall Guys beta. I don't know if you guys.
Oh man, I was watching you stream that, and it looks awesome.
It's so fun. It's such a stupid. It's another stupid game that's just like the matches only take 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's a battle royale, but it's kind of like the Wipeout show.
Yeah, it's what I was just gonna say. It's just like the show Wipeout.
Yeah, and then like there's different. It's not just like the same thing over and over again. It does like this wheel of game types, and there's like different obstacle courses. There's different game modes. I had a blast.
And you basically have like the physics of a toddler, right?
Yeah, you can't really. Yeah, it's hard to move. Like, and then like there's 60 people in there, and you're just like smacking into each other. You could grab each other. It's very frustrating. I think it would be really fun to play with friends because it would just be like throwing each other everywhere.
Is it just on PC right now?
No, it's on. Well, so the beta was this weekend. It was on PC and PS4. And it's coming to PlayStation Plus. By the time this is out, it will be on PlayStation Plus. It's on August
for
free. Free. Yeah, for free. If you have PlayStation Plus, you can have it for free.
Nice.
So it's kind of like
I'll play that game with you. That sounds awesome.
it's gonna be fun. I'm definitely gonna be playing it. It reminds me of Rocket League because they did that with Rocket League. They initially released it on PlayStation Plus and then it like blew up. So I'm hoping you guys should check it out. It's really fun. It's not like a normal. It
looks like a blast.
It's not like a normal battle royale. It's not like a shooter game. Anybody could. I won one easily, so anybody could win. Like it's not. There's not a high bar of.
It just seems. It seems silly. It seems colorful. It seems like it's like totally like balances out like the skill level because you could just get totally screwed over by like just bumping into something wrong. Like it seems like a lot of fun.
It is a little frustrating too because you can't control yourself that well. Like you're like flopping all around and you're running into people and people are like getting in front of you and you're like, come on, man, I almost got there. But it's really fun. I can't wait to play the full release. And then the last thing I've been playing is I got Ghost of Tsushima, when that came out. And it got me into the samurai mood. So I'm like, you know what? This game's not that hard. I want to, just punch myself in the face a few times. So I started playing Nioh 2 again.
Right.
And that game is hard.
Did you beat Nioh 1?
I did beat Nioh 1. I beat Nioh 1 last year, I think. I love Nioh 1. I thought it's definitely the best Souls-like game that's out there. And Nioh 2 is really good. It's hard though. It's like super hard.
It's crazy. I just loved collecting the Ochoko cups.
Those little green guys,
little green boys.
Yeah. They're in Nioh 2. They're still in there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the two before I get into my stuff? Is the 2-player in Nioh 2 like as complicated or convoluted? Do you need like a consumable? Do you know?
I don't know. I think like in Nioh 1, I don't think it was that hard to do in Nioh 1.
Yeah, but you needed a consumable item and like you could potentially run out of them.
Oh.
And you'd have
They don't give it back?
No.
Like the way Sorry.
It's like if you were to play Dark Souls and use like an Ember in 3. Like if you die, you run out of the Ember, and you could potentially not play co-op. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Just like that.
Yeah, I've never played co-op, so I don't know. But like the way Bloodborne works is you use insight, but then when you're done, you get it back. So it's not like you're losing anything.
Even if you die, you keep your insight.
Yeah, you keep it. Yeah, it just goes back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Soulsborne games, that is all I've been playing, with the occasional Paper Mario for like 30 minutes here and there because
How do you feel about it?
I feel like it's taking me a big reframing in my mind. I'm like basically I have to give myself a pep talk every time I turn it on and be like, this is not what you played when you were a kid or in a teenager. Like, this is a different thing. They're doing an adventure game. Like, Paper Mario is not the same game anymore. It's over.
Yeah, that is not an RPG. So if you're going into it thinking it's an RPG, it's not an RPG.
So I kind of have to do that, and then once I like give myself that pep talk and sit down and I look at the world and like, oh, it's really great. Like, this is nice. Like, the music is good. Like, the characters are fun. But there's just like a couple things I'm like, why didn't they have like more unique characters? Like, why is it just like Toads and Shy Guys? And like, it's just like, choices like that. I'm like, why? Then like, there's a quote that's like Shigeru Miyamoto said like, this game is fine without a story. So like, why does it need one? And I just want to be like, yo, man, I think it's time for you to retire. Like, that is not something that you say about a video game.
It's also like, we have those games. Like, we have Mario, we have Legend of Zelda that like keep them like make Paper Mario something different.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just Because Paper Mario reminds me more like this one reminds me more of like a Zelda game because there's like dungeons and stuff. There's no RPG elements.
It's puzzle solving. And
it's puzzle solving, and so it's.
I would be fine with it if Alpha Dream didn't go out of business 6 months ago and like there was no Mario and Luigi games on the horizon. Like if there
makes this Intelligent Systems, Paper Mario.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is weird because they
make Fire Emblem.
They make an amazing game in Fire Emblem. So it's like, what are you doing? But
they have the A team on Fire Emblem and they put the B team on Paper Mario.
There's all those quotes out there saying like Nintendo is preventing us from making like unique characters. Like they can't make a Toad a specific gender, or they can't.
Or they can't make those little, like, remember in Thousand Year Door, those little gray teensy dudes? Like, they can't make, like, new things.
Yeah, or like Mr. L. Like, they can't have Mr. L. They can't have, like... Yeah. They can't even, like, edit a Koopa to be, like, a different type of Koopa.
To wear a backwards hat.
Yeah.
It's like, ridiculous. That's insane. That's insane. Like, I really am super anti. But I'm spending way too much time on Paper Mario because that's not actually what I'm playing the most. The most is what I'm playing. The most I'm playing are the Dark Souls series. I just beat Dark Souls 1 Remastered. I've been playing Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1 I'd gotten really far in the first time I played it. I think I got basically to the point where you are, John, that you were telling me about.
Yeah.
About like where you killed the spider and like then you got to go like find the 4 Lords of Cinder or whatever they're called in that game. But I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2. Basically, if you follow me on Instagram, #follow me on Instagram, I'm posting what I'm doing and how I'm like progressing throughout the game. And I've just been something clicked one day where I was just like, I understand how these games function.
Yeah.
And like when that finally happened, I was just like, oh, these aren't hard, awful games. They're hard games, but it's like they're totally beatable. Yeah. The systems are there for a reason. You just have to understand, and you basically need to have a Chrome window open with like 11 tabs up at all times to like manage your stats and like figure out what you're doing and your build and your items. And like right now in Dark Souls 2, I have something called an Ultra Greatsword, which is inspired by, if you guys are familiar with the manga Berserk, the character Guts that has that giant sword, which then in turn inspired Cloud Sword in Final Fantasy VII. So like I'm just walking around with this like giant sword. And I got real nerdy. Somebody came in and was like, that looks like Cloud Sword. And I was like, well, actually.
I used the great sword in Dark Souls 3. I don't know what it was, but they're fun to use. I usually do like the basic build where it's like strength, stamina. Yeah. Like I don't mess with the magic. I don't mess with.
No, I did on Dark Souls 1. I made a Dex character who was kind of like a tank, and I had a sword or I had a spear and a shield, and I basically was just poke. Poke, and now I'm just like, and I'm just swinging this just giant sword. It sucks because like it slows you, like the animations of doing that, like like there's like a 2-second cooldown, and then you're like, uh-oh. So like you got to make a smart choice every time you swing the sword.
And Dark Souls 2 is the slowest one. I think Dark Souls 2 is the slowest one.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I might be wrong, but I think
it's definitely the most different. It's like it
wasn't made by Miyazaki. That's why it's so different, because it wasn't made by Miyazaki.
Very interesting. I still like it all the same. I think it's fine. People complain about Dark Souls 2. They say it's the bad one, that you shouldn't play it. You should just go straight to 3. And I say nay. Play Dark Souls 2. It is fun. And I would say if you're afraid to play Dark Souls game, just like watch a bunch of videos about how you're supposed to play them, or like just try really hard and don't give up. If you get to that point where you want to quit, play for like another 90 minutes and just see if you can do it. I think that those games, like, they get a bad rap because they're so hard, but I think that they're some of the best games ever made.
You know what they remind me of Mega Man games in the sense that you have to learn the patterns. That's all it is. All pattern learning of the enemies and the bosses. Like I don't think it's a difficult game, and it punishes you a lot if you like mess up. But once you learn, like you said, how it wants you to play and what you need to do, it's a very satisfying game. Like
it punishes you for like overcommitting or going in guns blazes, because that is never the solution. And it's never the solution. Just run in.
I'll be fascinated to see. I'll be interested to see how you feel about like the non-Dark Souls games. Like if you played through Bloodborne or Sekiro.
Oh yeah, I mean I started Bloodborne and I think I killed the werewolf guy.
Okay, yeah,
he's pretty early on.
The cleric beast.
But I found like the bell. I feel like I'm going on for too long, but like I found like the bell. I know, guys. This is now a Dark Souls podcast. Yeah, but I found the bell from his daughter or whatever, and I just felt so like it was so satisfying. And spoilers. I'm sorry, guys. It was satisfying for me that I was like, I bet if I rung this right now, it would like mess him up, and it did. And I was like, this is brilliant. This game is brilliant.
Yeah, like there's so much lore to these games that you don't know. There's no like crazy cutscenes. Like you have a 30...
There's a couple of cutscenes and a lot of item descriptions.
Yeah, and like the music box like that you're talking about. Like, you don't know that.
Box.
I think it's a music box.
It was a music box.
You don't know that until you like just try to use it, and then like it works. And then like Bloodborne has the craziest lore. So like, when you play through it, just read all the descriptions, like do all the bosses and stuff.
One final thought on Dark Souls, and then we should wrap this up. That they're all that everything's connected. Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, that they're all connected.
Are they?
Yeah, there's like theories on it. That there's like items that like are in. There's one item that's like in every single game, and that like Sekiro takes place like before everything, and like Dark Souls 2 is like way in the super future of after 1 and 3, and they're like not in chronological order. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's like, but like, what's his name? Smo and, gosh. Anyways, you're getting so off track. The Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
The Dragon Slayer looks just like that boss. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me talk about Dark Souls for maybe 5 straight minutes. And thank you so much for watching this video. And check out the audio podcast if you guys haven't checked that out recently. So, we're everywhere. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other stories this week and let us know how you felt about this story down in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. Talk to you all next time.